continued what you started at your inauguration on 29th May 2023. All your actions since then have been bold, decisive, and purposeful. They indicate your resolve to make decisions that may be hard but necessary to remedy past errors and put Nigeria on the path of economic recovery, security, and development. We commend you for your courageous and determined leadership. Your Excellency, sir, your administration's renewed hope agenda is the philosophical foundation of the legislative agenda of the 10th House of Representatives. We have developed a detailed roadmap to ensure that the legislature supports, promotes, and oversees the strategic objectives of this government. A major thematic area of our agenda is economic growth and development. We recognize the role that Parliament plays in shaping the economic trajectory and the role that we play in influencing economic development. Towards this end, the National Assembly will support the government policies and programs targeted at alleviating poverty, economic restructuring and diversification, as well as social sector reform and developments. For the first time in our legislative history, the 10th House of Representatives created monitoring and evaluation committees to ensure effective implementation of the budget and Mr. President's 8-point agenda, among others. I'm happy to report to Mr. President that the legislative agenda was on 4th November 2023 unveiled to the Nigerian public through the distinguished chairmanship of the Senate President, distinguished Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Mr. President, it is a well-known fact that millions of our constituents are living through incredibly difficult times. For this reason, they also look to your own administration to provide quick and sustainable solutions. The antecedents of the President and your track record in governance inspire a lot of people and hope in Nigerians. Mr. President, it is for this reason that we cannot afford to fail Nigerians. If anyone can change the road and chart a new course for Nigeria, it is emphatically you. That you can measure expectations of Nigeria through document, but a reflection of our collective resolve to address the most critical needs of our long-suffering citizens. In order to promote economic growth and development, the 2024 budget should prioritize social welfare programs to help reduce poverty and inequality. Equally important is job creation and youth empowerment in view of the large and ever-growing youth population. Failure to do this means failure to invest in our future. This budget must also prioritize investment in education and healthcare, which is critical to human capital development and a more productive workforce. Infrastructure development is another critical area of importance, which is crucial for economic growth. The biggest challenge, however, is balancing these priorities within the constraints of available resources. In view of this, and the related challenge of high level of public debt, the National Assembly will ensure that the 2024 budget includes concrete strategies for sustainable debt management, including measures to increase revenue and control expenditure. Specifically, the focus should be on raising more revenue through tax reform, fiscal reform, subsidy reform, foreign exchange convergence, and centralized revenue collection. In our recent engagement with MDAs on the MTEF, we emphasize the need for revenue-generating agencies to double their targets to meet the 18 trillion revenue projected in the budget. Mr. President, the effectiveness and legitimacy of fiscal policies depend to a very large extent on public support. As the People's House, and in line with our legislative agenda, the House of Representatives will convene the first national citizens budget town hall to harness public input and opinion on this budget. We are convinced that this will increase transparency and accountability, improve policy making, and increase trust in government. Public participation in the budgetary process has been shown to improve resource allocation and service delivery, as well as a more stable and robust economy. By seeking inputs from citizens, we aim to understand their local needs and preferences better and allocate resources more effectively. Your Excellency, going forward, will also work to institutionalize pre-budget engagements with the executive to further improve and hasten the budget process. The House has already commenced interface with MDAs through the sectoral debates to understand the challenges facing government agencies and identified areas for legislative interventions. All of these efforts are geared towards ensuring that we provide the necessary legislative support to your administration's renewed hope agenda. Your Excellency, I cannot conclude my remarks without highlighting some of the perennial problems that have hampered the budget process in Nigeria. These are well known to Mr. President, who is an experienced ex-legislator. Although the government budget is an important tool for economic management and promoting growth and development, it has generally not met the expectation of improved service delivery and development. This has largely been due to challenges relating to budget enactment, budget implementation, and budget oversight. The well-known gaps in the various stages of the budget process underscore the need for budget reforms, including altering relevant sections of the Constitution and existing laws to strengthen the budget process and transform our budget into an authentic tool for development. For this reason, I propose enacting a Budget Act to strengthen the budget process and promote development outcomes. This is a well-established practice in democracies across the world. Mr. President, let me, on behalf of my colleagues in the National Assembly, assure you that we will give this bill the utmost priority it deserves. While we give it accelerated consideration, we will diligently scrutinize it alongside Nigerians to ensure that when it is passed, it will be a budget that best addresses the most critical needs of our people. Accordingly, we seek the cooperation of all heads of MDAs, especially during budget defense by committees. We shall thoroughly examine various aspects of the budget proposals, including economic feasibility, allocation and utilization of funds, and sustainability of proposed fiscal policies. This is essential for maintaining checks and balances and ensuring that government spending aligns with national priorities and is conducted transparently and efficiently. Therefore, I urge all stakeholders to approach the deliberations on this budget with a sense of purpose and commitment to national development. Distinguished senators, honorable members of the People's House, we must proceed with the huge task ahead. The next couple of weeks will be tough and demanding for us, but I do not doubt our capacity to effectively and speedily discharge our constitutional mandate. We must ensure that the budget, when finally passed, meets the expectation of the people we represent. We must equally follow through the implementation processes through our various oversight engagements. Mr. President, let me conclude by a short vote of thanks. My short vote of thanks by once again thanking you for undertaking this important exercise of budget presentation. To the National Assembly, I wish to categorically express the assurances of the 10th Assembly to work with you to ensure that you succeed and also Nigeria succeeds. Thank you, and may God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.